afternoon, colleagues, friends, and industry leaders. I am Gaurav Gupta, Associate Director in Government and Public Sector Consulting Services within EY. And first of all, I would like to thank the organizer for hosting this particular summit and giving me the opportunity to moderate the panel on empowering PSUs with a roadmap for technology-driven transformations. So I'll also want to extend warm welcomes to all our eminent speakers for taking out their time from the busy schedules and would be sharing the valuable insights and expertise with us. So I'm hopeful that we will be having a very learnful and insightful sessions. So when I heard about the topic for the first time, the PSU and the technology-driven transformation, so I thought we are standing at a very critical juncture where both central as well as state-governed enterprises are using cutting-edge technology to enhance their operational efficiency as well as and transparency also, to increase the transparency among the users. So PSUs will play a very good role in the India's growth story going forward. So I'll not take much of the time. I'll move on to Sir Anil Choudhary, sir. So, sir, ESL has been using technology to have an efficient energy management system in place using smart meterings, IoT, sensors, and also developing digital interfaces for the consumer to have to monitor their consumption patterns. So what has been your impediment while implementing these technology transformations within your organization, whether it was a budget constraints or the mindset or the legacy system that were already in place within the organizations, and how did you overcome that, sir?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say what actually we as a ESL are aiming for. Actually, we are basically a transformative organization in itself, because we have to day in, day out figure out what are the means through which we can make our India efficient, energy and resource wise efficient. Because take one figure, I will just tell you that our per capita energy consumption is 1/3 of world's average per capita energy consumption, 1/3. And if you go for US, it's our 1/13th of that. So what does it mean? Like, doesn't mean that we are 13 times more efficient than US. Means that we are still going to have that kind of energy. Means if we are going to develop like a world's average, we will be needing 3 times of energy. And if we are going to develop like US, we will be needing 13 times of energy, what we are needing today. So in the same efficiency, if we will be operating, we will be needing 13 times of energy. Our cooling demands are increasing, everything is increasing. So what does it mean? It means our transformations have to be so much rampant that we have to be 13 times more efficient to keep our demand same. So that kind of efficiency can not be achieved only by these efficient appliances which we keep on developing. Let's say BLDC fan, brushless DC fan, which normal fans will be getting outdated, and LED bulbs and various kinds of motors, this we have already brought in. Now the things are smart metering for the energy and the demand response system and the discoms which are to be brought in, and various kinds of renewable energy interfaces and applications which we are bringing in. For example, let's say we have brought in solar power micro cold storages, which will be installed at around 2.6 lakhs places in all over India. So they will be integrated because there will be integration of the usage pattern, because various kinds of crops will be used. So our actual application is in the user side. So these are various interfaces which we are going to have in us, and various kinds of lighting operations. All kinds of efficient lighting operations are IoT enabled. We see in every state, we are seeing in the dashboard how many what kind of lighting operations is going on. So these are the interfaces which we are using. So we are all the time looking for what kind of efficient interface we can look for, what kind of the IoT managements we can see for, and Industry 4.0 which we are aiming for is another thing that we want to focus on, because it is also a means of conservation of energy and resources. We have in a pilot we have studied, we have found that the production which was happening in the 4 shifts has started happening. We have done a project in Chennai. So what we have found that the production which was happening in the 4 shift has started happening in the 3 shift after applying Industry 4.0. So this kind of transformations which we are aiming for, and the upcoming thing like the demand response also in the DISCOM, which will be the order of day, when we will be declaring our demands. Every consumers will be declaring our demand, and then that tariff will be at time of the day tariff. So that kind of and the user can decide that whether when the tariff will increase, so that their demand should be in certain limit. So that can be controlled through the this DISCOM itself. And when this is to be done, then much kind of security layers are to be built in. So we are looking from the user point of view to go for those kinds of security level in the near future.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your perspective. Your insights were really inciting. So I'll move on to our next speaker, Rakesh Sharma, sir. So, sir, IRCON has been instrumental in developing large infrastructure projects, whether it's a railway line in Baramulla or new coach factory in Raebareli. So, sir, is there any roadmap within your organization that we will be adopting technology at this particular stage? Because technology will play a very important role while you are implementing such critical projects. And if there is such plans, sir, what are the guiding pillars to those things?
Yeah, thank you and good afternoon. I am representing a PSU under the Ministry of Railways, IRCON International Limited, and basically we are into the EPC part of the transportation infrastructure, and majority of the works as far as transportation is concerned is from the railway sector. So my response is basically from that background and perspective. As far as the roadmap for digital transformation in the IRCON International is concerned, we do have a policy of making a corporate plan for say next 5 years, how the company will fare, what are the projections, how the revenues will be next 5 years from now, and what kind of new areas of interest where we can venture into new geographies as we are an international construction company. So things like that. So digital transformation aspect is very in detail has been taken care in our corporate plan, what we have made for the company. So yes, we do have a roadmap for that. And as far as the key strategy to build on, on the how to take this forward, how this transformation or the roadmap will be implemented over the period of time, you see the key strategies, the lead should come from the top. A very strong and visible commitment from the leadership. That is one of the aspects we looks into. So the recent example, because I represent a business development cell, so a recent example that we entered into one of the new railway verticals. It's a train collision avoidance system which has been recently in place, named by a popular name by Kavach system. So we backed one of the very prominent contract in Southwestern Railway for implementing this technology over 778 route kilometer of this zonal railway. In addition to that, remote diagnostic and predictive maintenance of railway assets. This is also one of the new areas where a lot of technology intervention is expected. So here also we secured one of the major contracts with Northwestern Railway for maintaining this entire technology for, say, around 87 railway stations. So that way, the company is very well focused, and we are getting into this digital aspect, and the transformation part is concerned. As far as the pillars, the key areas where we are focusing, the smart infrastructure and operation. This is one of the key areas we see, focusing on the integration of advanced technology such as IoT, AI, machine learning, automation, digital twinning into the project life of the EPC contract. Say right from the design phase, construction phase, getting into maintenance and operation part of it. So that is one of the areas. Then data-driven decision making and the project management. So that is also one of the focus areas. I mean, utilizing the data analytics, we can do in a better way. The project management, risk management of the project can be done in a better way. And of course, optimization of resources and bringing overall operational excellence into the project. So that is one of the areas, of course, we foresee as where this technology intervention can bring wonders into the construction industry. And the third aspect, as I see, I mean, sustainable and resilient solutions. So looking for some eco-friendly solutions into the infrastructure field, opting for, say, renewable solar power can be one of the areas. Then energy efficient designs and building these infrastructure in a way that it's more resilient and environmental, you can say, ready to meet out the challenges what we are facing right now. So I mean, these are the areas, and we hope that the company is on the right track, and we will be definitely making inroads into this new opening. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your perspective. We'll like to move on to our next speaker, Ms. Poonam. So, ma'am, the organization like yours are already using predictive analytics and AI for optimizing their productions and using AI to have a advocacy supports to the farmers. So, in your context, ma'am, what are the key matrices that you look for a success of a digital initiatives, ma'am?
Okay, thank you, Gaurav. And I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me. And I'm truly honored to be amongst the esteemed panelists. So to answer your question, you have already said I am into like it's National Fertilizers Limited, and we are reaching out up to the farmers. So the first key thing which we keep in mind is how we can keep the customer satisfied. That is the first thing. That is whatever solutions we design, whatever modules we are adopting, the first approach we have is by what benefit it is going to give it to us. Is it going to satisfy my customers? Is it going to be like an ease of business for them? And few of you must be knowing about it's a government initiative that we have reached out to last point, and it's a subsidized product, and we get subsidy only when the farmer acknowledges the receipt of fertilizers. So that is the outreach fertilizer companies are having as of now, and it's a subsidized thing. So we get subsidy only when the farmer acknowledges. So that we have already provided these are point of sale devices to our dealers and retailers, and it is through a government portal that all the acknowledgements are happening. So our focus always remains that the devices are working, they are well connected, and they don't have any issues. We provide trainings to them. And for other initiatives, we just look into whatever new we are designing, whatever we are doing for the company, that is it helping us with removing the redundancies? Because most important in our kind of companies is that processes just keep on happening and nobody is bothered about whether there is a redundancy, there is a duplicacy, but things keep on going. So once we think of designing a solution or we propose something, so first another focus is on how we can gain out of it, how we can increase the efficiency, how we can increase the productivity and remove the redundancies and duplications. That is another thing. And how employees are going to benefit from it. Are they comfortable using those technologies or not? So that is the thing which we focus on. And being a subsidy-based product, our focus is not on the revenue or the cost reductions because there is not much we can do about it. So these are the key areas where we focus on. And any project we take that we definitely design, we have definite goals that we work within the time frame and we don't overshoot the budgets. That is how we take off. And key areas which we focus on while doing digital transformations. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You have really captured the essence on the matter. So moving on to our next speaker, Samita Luthra, ma'am. So, ma'am, we are witnessing the turnaround story for BSNL. So that are driving the cost efficiency while increasing the focus on the profitability. So how, in your context, how do you see the technology transformation enabling this journey, and what would be the, and where on those journey do you see BSNL right now? That.
Thank you, Gaurav, for that question. It's a very relevant question on, where technology-driven transformation, where we are and what it means for BSNL. So basically, technology-driven transformation in BSNL, it's not only about, connecting our towers or, upgrading our systems with latest digital solutions. It's much more than that. It's like, how we connect our customers, how we serve our customers, especially the customers who are sitting in remote areas, in rural areas where, the connectivity is not there. And to give you an example on, what do you mean by technology-driven transformation in BSNL, it's an example of 3-4 years ago when we were mandated by Government of India that we have to use indigenous technology for our mobile network. So at that point of time, it meant, that this is impossible, it's a Herculean task, because this technology is dominated by only 5 global giants, and nowhere we could fathom that, this could be brought in, in India. And down the line, step by step, if I see today, where are we, we have actually deployed this technology, with a relentless efforts by Government of India, efforts, by employees of BSNL right from top to the bottom, plus, the partners who've been engaging with us. We've actually deployed it across 90,000 towers in India, and as I'm speaking, this service is actually working. And to tell you, icing on the cake, in the last 2 quarters, BSNL has become profitable for the first time after a gap of 17 years, which means that, it's not really transformation of, a financial turnaround. It's what you are saying, technology-driven transformation in action. That's where, BSNL is currently in, and across our complete portfolio, that's what we are bringing on to the table. Apart from connectivity, we are, bringing on many enterprise solutions. My neighbor, he's my customer, IOCL, we are actually moving into, giving them 5G captive networks and all. I suppose, he'll praise us for that. And your next question, wherein you are asking that, where are we on this journey? See, on this journey, I would say we've got the technology now, and our intent is strong. And now the opportunity, as well as I would call it a challenge, is that in this PSU culture, that we have today, how do we, bring in that speed, bring in that agility, so that we are able to, serve not only India, we also dream that, these technologies, we are able to give it to the world also. So that's my answer to it. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am. I think we are warming up to a very informative session. So moving on the vein to Mr. Nagendra Pratap Singh. So, sir, IOCL is having a well-defined system for both procurement, operations, as well as the asset management. So, with well-defined system across the department, how do you enable your workforces that are operating at the operational level, so to adopt to these technologies-driven initiatives? And does reskilling plays an important role in this particular aspect, sir? We'd like to know your thoughts on that, sir.
Let me just brief about the oil and gas sector. So oil and gas is contributing around 70% of the Indian economy. So everybody who is working in IOCL has a pressure to deliver something, since the country is dependent on us. Primarily, the workforce which is selected in Indian Oil has a process. We select users from the gate. Campus interviews has been taken up by the elite group, and after that, the rigorous process, the manpower gets deployed at various places of Indian Oil. Now there is a training process wherein the elite group has been trained, and on the basis of their training, the posting has been assigned. There's a well-defined SOPs for manpower training, and during the process, the promotion process and the upgradation process, timely trainings have been assigned, and only on the basis of that, the ROI is being taken up. Now, I'll just elaborate few of the examples wherein the IIMs graduates, the IIT graduates have been deputed in various places, and they delivered so much till date. That is why the oil and gas companies are profitable till date. I'll give you some of the example in the digital sectors. We currently, I'm from the Strategic Information Systems Group, wherein we have implemented around 250 odd initiatives in the operational technology side of it, wherein the smallest benefit estimation is around 68 CR per location per year. So we are running around 10 refineries, wherein the 50% of the manpower is from IITs or IIMs or the NITs. So they deliver because the right environment has been given to them, right training has been given to them, proper procedures are in place, and those procedures are refined during the times. So now I think everybody who's sitting on the panel are from the public sector companies. I'll be very frank and I'll be blunt on that in public sector, we are not fighting for the technology or with the technology. We are fighting with the mindsets. So whatever process we have, it's a stringent process. You'll have to go through each and every line of the pages. Thing is, if you want to get the job done, you have to be thorough with the subject. Otherwise, that job will not be executed. So my suggestion to everybody who is sitting on the panel is, if there is a gap in between, since everybody is at the certain place that some changes can be taken up, properly place some SOPs, kindly review those SOPs and execute those SOPs.
I'd like to move on to our next speaker, Mr. Vikrant Saxena, sir. So you are been in an industry in which the risk of technology getting outdated is very high. So in your scenario, what kind of a partnership, whether it's a partnership with startups or a global firms or with the academic institution, which of them are providing more valuable insights or solutions in your context, sir?
Thank you. I would like to say that we are not the direct user of technology.
Okay. But you are.
Basically, the name of the organization is Export Promotion Council. So we help industry members in their efforts to diversify globally, wherein MSMEs play an important role. And last few years, startups have also started coming up in a big way. And 2 years back, we took a delegation of almost 33 most innovative startups to US under the aegis of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So there, with the help of Indian Mission in California, we organized their B2B meets with mentors and other people. And you will be glad to know that 16 to 18 out of 33 got good results. Basically, what happens for a mother, all children are her loved ones. But it's the people, mentors, consultants, industry who tell that who is the best. So if you start asking any startup, everybody will say our product, our thinking is the best. But if you go in the market, the people will let you know whether they are the best or not. So when we deal with startups, everybody start coming to us. We have done this. People will be after this. People will be after. Even day before yesterday, I got a call that somebody from Gurgaon, and he told me that he's doing extremely good in quantum technologies. Now, we are not the technocrats. When it comes to commercial use, only then we will come to learn whether his product, whether his idea is good or not. So what your question says is that, yes, we are dealing with startups. Every second day or the third day, we keep coming with so many ideas, images, and so many things. But when it comes to commercial use, when we bring them to the table, only then the industry people let us know whether the idea will fail or whether it will materialize. This is on my side.
Thank you, sir. And sir, any thoughts on the academic institutions or the academic institution that you are partnering or they are developing any technologies on that?
Actually, we are more into helping industry members in their efforts to diversify. So when we do some research work, only then academia comes into picture.
Okay.
Otherwise, we do not.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for sharing your perspective, sir. So I'd like to move on to our next speaker, Mr. Salman. So, Food
Sorry,
Corporation.
didn't
I'll
Can
move
you
on
repeat
to-
your question?
I was moving on to the next speaker. Yes, sir. So, Food Corporation of India has been tasked with the manpower task of procurement, storing, and distribution food grains through technology-driven initiative. They have been adopting those initiatives in your organization. So, just wanted to know how you were able to build digital-first mindset across the department, and the entire value chain comes in sync, and so the end product you are able to deliver it very efficiently. So how you were able to develop that mindset within your organization?
So, when we talk about digital transformation, we usually talk about technologies, AI, automation, cloud, and everything. But we quite often forget that center of this digital transformation journey are the people who define the organizational culture. Just to give a context of Food Corporation of India, it's operate on one of the world's largest food grain supply chain management system. We every year procure around 1,000 lakh metric ton of food grain, and we distribute it to 81 crore people of this country, which are under the PDS. Now, to cater to that scale of operation, I think technology have helped us a lot. Just not to increase efficiency, but also to uplift the organizational culture in a way. Of late, I will tell you that FCI, from being a process-heavy and paper-driven organization, have transformed itself to a more agile, more transparent, and more tech-driven organization. And that happened due to slew of technological intervention which we have done. Now, what benefit we have drawn from it is phenomenal. I think we don't have much time to say about what are different systems which we have launched, but I will say that, our employees, our stakeholders, everybody have benefited from it. For a simple example, I will say we have reduced our man hours of employees. We have improved their quality of life. And now people are more focusing on the core competencies. They are not stuck to that manual or analog way of working. So that transition has already happened in the organization. And we are regularly able to assess ourselves through these platforms, that what are the operational metrics, what are the KPIs we are following it or not. So it has also given a sense of empowerment to our employees, and they are performing it accordingly. And the second thing is that we have to also identify the skill gap. And by identifying the skill gap, we have to also mitigate it through the upskilling and reskilling of our employees. We have seen that in the era of AI, these interfaces, new platforms, they are very easy to learn also. So by giving them the minimum sort of training, a person could easily switch to these new ways of working. So we have seen that, employees have absorbed it, and they are very happy to work in a new environment where they will just not see the efficiency, but they are also seeing a benefit drawn out of working this particular system. I think with an effective change management policy, FCI is doing its bit, and I think with going forward, we will be doing more technological investment and converting a tech-driven culture in the organization. Thank you.
Thank you for giving a different perspective on the technology-driven transformation, that we need to focus on the culture as well as. So moving on to our next speaker, Mr. Santosh Kumar Jain. So, sir, for a organization like yours, that is a technology-driven organization, because you deal with a lot of data points to be there to maintain and integrate the entire power grid of India, sir. So, what advice you will give to the organization that aspires to have a data-driven decision makings? So, any special advice, or what are the footsteps they can follow so that they can reach to that particular levels?
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav. And before that I start, I will also like to give a disclaimer that these are my personal views.
Yeah.
Basically, before starting our panel discussion, a lot of questions have been raised on PSUs, right? So basically, we are cautious starters, but fastest finishers. So whenever we start, we think of responsibilities we are having, because even a single decision can take many lives. So that is we are very cautious about everything, because we are responsible and we are answerable. And one more thing, everybody here out is explaining that we are providing security, we are providing security. So first we have to feel that, are we insecure? So basically, we have to vet each and every idea in context of our organization. And I am from Grid Control of India, and we are controlling the electricity of the single largest grid in the world, connected grid. Basically, we are operating on a single frequency. Not even a single grid in the world is maintaining such a large, huge network. Grid controller are basically considered as a brain of the power system. Sometimes you call them as a air traffic controller, because many lives are dependent on them. And as far as we are concerned, we have to maintain a car while it is running. Even F1 car racers are having the pit stop sort of things, but we are not having that liberty. So that is why every system is critical, because for a single moment, if your electricity goes, then you are in, say, very haphazard manner. You start blaming. That means everything stops, right? So that is very critical. And data is like soul of any organization. An organization can't function without its soul. So that is why we have to take very critical aspect. And whenever we are dealing with data, we need to identify or classify it in two parts. One is critical and other is less critical. I'm not saying not critical, because everything is, say, critical only. It's less critical. So for critical data, you have to take utmost care. In that case, I would like to suggest that you should have the decentralization of data storage, not at centralization. So whenever centralized model needs the data, it should archive from that particular decentralized sort of mechanism. Secondly, whichever data you are getting in your system, it should be time and space stamped. And that too, you should need, that data packet should have the source credentials also. So these things you need to ensure. Thirdly, you need to ensure that you are whitelisting the things, right? Whichever data you are believing, you should not go for blacklisting, basically whitelisting sort of mechanism. And if you are controlling the critical system, then you should have a permissioned environment sort of things. Like in blockchain, we are having permissioned and non-permissioned sort of things. Thirdly, whenever you are going for any algorithm like for artificial intelligence, then you need to go for XAI particularly, not Gen AI. Everything is there, but it should explain what is inside that particular algorithm. So you can't hire a black box for your system, because you are not knowing that what is going inside that algorithm. So you need to resort to explainable AI, basically artificial intelligence, so that if you need some say changes, you can change in your own environment. So those things I would suggest. And again, you need to create some cyber commandos sort of things, and integrated cyber shield. And finally, you need to build a digital fortress around your environment. And again, only for the sake of technology adoption, you should not adopt. If you have some challenges with the technology, adds or some help is provided or solve that pain, then only you should go for any technology like blockchain, artificial intelligence, or whatever thing. These all are my small views.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insight. So we have listened to all the speakers today. So any thoughts that you would be taking out of this discussion? So just in 2-3 words, we'll start with you, sir. So then we can move in this particular area. Any thoughts that you will be taking out of this discussion, summarizing in 2-3 words, sir?
Basically, here I have met a lot of stalwarts like sitting here, so it's my pleasure. And also, Zenji sort of persons are all sitting there. So when this bridge established between these Gen Zs and stalwarts like you, then definitely our target will achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Salman.
I think these platforms are very enriching. You get a lot of insights. You can take back what fits in your landscape properly. And I think it's a little presumptuous on our part to see how technology will behave in the next 5 years or 10 years. We don't know. But we have to keep our eyes open and adopt as situation changes. So we have to be ready, and these platforms will definitely help us in a way. Thank you.
Thank you. Vikrant, sir.
I would say the only thing which can be predicted about technology is that it's the most unpredictable one.
Yes.
Every 6 months, disruptive technologies are changing the means of doing business. Just I'll take 1 second. Long back, I was in US, and a lady from media came to me and told me, it's a very important thing, that there are 2 words, contacts and contracts. And the alphabet which differentiates both the words is R. And R means relationship.
Yes.
So the more you build relationship, contracts will come through contacts. And in the last 4 years, post-pandemic, the way the technology is changing and is changed. Earlier, we used to send emails to industry members to come and participate. Nowadays, everything is through social media. Everything is through Google registrations. What we used to plan 15 days in advance, nowadays, even 3 or 4 days are enough to do anything. So technology is going to change the life in the coming times.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Nagin.
I think it's a very good platform wherein, other than the oil and gas, we are able to meet all public sector companies. Ma'am, we are working for BSNL also. We are implementing private 5G at one of our refinery, Luthra. That would be a POC once it is over. Then we'll roll out those technologies in other refineries also. So there's a good chance that ma'am is also with us. You get a chance to talk to her. Thank you.
Ma'am, Samita ma'am.
गौरव आई थिंक सबसे पहले तो मैं विलॉक्स मीडिया का धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगी कि हम सबको यहाँ पे बुलाया एंड इतनी डाइवर्स PSUs की आज बातें सुनकर यू नो द काइंड ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजीज यू नो दे आर बिल्डिंग दे आर डेवलपिंग और आज से 10 साल पहले रिवाइंड करो तो आई थिंक हम यहाँ कहीं नहीं थे. आज एंकर भी कह रहे थे कि जो आज PSUs कर रहे हैं वो माइंड ब्लोइंग हो रहा है एंड दिस आई कुड फील ऑन द प्लेटफॉर्म टुडे. थैंक यू टू ऑल माय फेलो पैनलिस्ट फॉर एनरिचिंग मी एंड थैंक यू टू विलॉक्स मीडिया एंड थैंक यू टू यू फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग दिस.
Poonam ma'am.
Thank you, Gaurav. I echo the views of Smita because otherwise we never had this kind of platform where we would interact and know where other PSUs are standing. We would discuss within the company and not beyond. Now we have a very good platform where we interact with each other, know how they are using, leveraging the technology, and then we get new use cases from them which we can also adapt in future.
Rakesh.
So one takeaway from this platform regarding the use of technology into the infrastructure sector, I mean, very clearly is that it can definitely bring a lot of efficiency into the execution of the project. It improves the safety aspect. It brings in the reliability. So I think that thought process is getting more reinforced through this platform. So that's it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Anil sir.
Thank you for this nice platform, and this is a very enriching platform actually. I have learned many things from all the diverse speakers here, so it has been good learning, and I am sure that my organization people who are here also, they must be also interacting with others. And as I have just told that energy we need 13 times. So it is not impossible. It's a very impossible thing. 13. So ultimately, it has to be technology driven. It has to be efficient, in 13 times efficient. You mean? So technology has to play the role, and we have seen in the past also what we were initially doing. 1% was 10% was doing. Now we are doing in one efficiency has grown up. So that kind of thing is being seen. So that we will be all the time seeing, and I understand that this. The Food Corporation of India and this National Fertilizers Limited, we will be talking to you, my colleagues will be talking to you in our micro cold storage projects also. because we have given some insights here. Just we have catched it. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So one key takeaway that I would be taking is that PSUs are breaking stereotypes. So that is one of the that thought I will be taking away from the discussion. Thank you for this discussion. It was really inspiring and an insightful discussion that we had. Thank you, everyone here. Thank you, audience.